Hello everyone, this is Sir Monch, and in this lecture video, I'm gonna talk about the physical self, particularly topics related to beauty standards and body image. This lecture video is part of a lecture video series for GE Understanding the Self. Now, before we begin, before we go into the topics that are in this lecture video, allow me to give you 5 questions. 5 questions that can allow you to check your prior learning, that can allow you to recall certain information that you acquired in the past. And I hope that whatever information you can recall, that will interact with the content that I'll be giving in this lecture video. The first is, what's your understanding of beauty and how do you define it? I'm sure we have different standards of beauty. We have different values. We have different criteria for what we consider, for what we, for what we attach to the concept of beauty. And where do these things come from? Where is this understanding from? Is this uh, from our culture, from your family, from your personal experiences? Next question. How do you feel about your own body and appearance? Are you happy? Are you satisfied? Do you feel adequate? Do you feel sad? Do you feel dissatisfied? Do you feel ugly? And what impact does it have on your overall well-being? The third question, in what ways do you think social media impact our perception of beauty and body image? So many people are saying we are in the age of, you know, we are in the digital age. No, people are very often, most of the time, on their cell phones, browsing, content in social media pages. And are the messages in these social media sites significant enough to affect our understanding of what is beautiful? The fourth one, have you or someone you know ever struggled with body image issues, eating disorders, and other mental health conditions related to self-image? And last one, how do you think society as a whole can promote a more inclusive and diverse view of beauty? And what role do individuals play in promoting these values? Okay, so in this lecture video, I'll be sharing about beauty and what philosophers say about it, also the different psychological perspectives, beauty standards throughout history and across different cultures, and even the beauty standards here in the Philippines and other related topics such as the halo effect, body image issues, the interplay of beauty and mental health, and practical tips on handling narrow beauty standards. Okay, so let's begin with what's beauty. So as I mentioned earlier, it's possible for different people to maintain different standards for beauty, and that's normal, that's natural because philosophers over the years also had various ideas for what constitutes beauty. So we have the first philosopher here, Plato. According to Plato, beauty is abstract, an abstract ideal that exists independently of any person. So it's not something that you cannot measure. It's not something that, that you cannot, it's not something that you can see with your bare eyes, because beauty is related to goodness and truth. No, so beautiful things are all those good things. Beautiful things are the things that manifest truth, no? And according to Plato, the job of philosophers is to uncover these ideals and bring them to light. The second philosopher, Aristotle, he believed that beauty isn't abstract, but it's found in the physical world. So it's something that you can see. And according to Aristotle, the standards of beauty are the following: proportion, symmetry, balance, harmony. So when there is balance, there is symmetry in, let's say, the face, the body, or the building, or whatever aspect of whatever object, no, that thing is beautiful. Okay, so you see, there's difference between these two philosophers already. Abstract, not abstract in the physical world. Moreover, we have three more philosophers. Immanuel Kant, he believed that beauty isn't a matter of personal preference, but grounded in universal objective criteria. He somewhat echoed the views of Aristotle, saying that uh, we have objective criteria, no, for we have there are criteria for what we can consider as beautiful. And then also he believed that beauty has a moral dimension, meaning that for Immanuel Kant, um, if you feel beautiful, you are inspired to act in ethical ways. You are inspired to behave in moral ways. Okay. So let's say if you do bad things, no, if you don't follow rules, that's something that's not beautiful at all, according to Immanuel Kant. On the other hand, we have Friedrich Nietzsche. According to him, beauty is a subjective experience. He somewhat echoes our popular saying that says, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. No, Friedrich Nietzsche um, didn't prescribe a list of criteria for the things that we consider beautiful, because there are no criteria for it. No, it's in the person. It's how the person perceives. It's how the person experiences beauty. And particularly, he's known for rejecting objective beauty standards because those were used as a tool to enforce oppressive social norms. He argued that beauty standards are a way of controlling people, forcing people to conform to certain standards, certain beliefs, certain ideals. And he said we should scrap all of those objective beauty standards. And later on, Simone de Beauvoir also echoed the same or similar view on beauty, similar to what Nietzsche believed. For Simone de Beauvoir, beauty standards are indeed used as a tool of patriarchal oppression and a means to maintain women's subordination to men. And according to Simone, um, for women to be beautiful, women have to develop intellect, talents, have to focus on her accomplishments. No? Yeah, that's it. So this time, let's go to the different psychological perspectives that also had to say about beauty. From an evolutionary perspective, we have evolutionary psychologists who argue that beauty standards are related to survival and reproduction of our species. So we find certain physical attributes as attractive because those physical attributes signal health, fertility, and genetic fitness. So, for example, skin quality, a healthy looking complexion, that is considered attractive because we tend to associate that with, you know, fertility. When it comes to the social perspective, beauty standards are influenced by social norms and expectations. That is, there are social psychologists who believe that people get to maintain a relatively fixed set of criteria for beauty because of the influences of media and social media, the influences of advertising. No, they shape the way we understand, the way we form our belief, the way we form or we set our criteria for things that are beautiful. So people feel pressure to conform to society standards because, um, yeah, standards of beauty in order to fit in order to feel accepted. And lastly, the cultural perspective. Beauty standards can reflect the values and beliefs of a particular group or society or even time period. So we understand that different cultures may have different standards of beauty. So there, a fuller body, for example, may be beautiful in certain cultures, while in some other cultures, a thinner body is more beautiful. So, all in all, there are various views surrounding beauty, surrounding our understanding of beauty. Maybe related to our survival as a species, maybe related to how the society is controlling us, how the society is bombarding us with messages related to what should constitute beauty, and yeah, the effects of culture and time as well. And that's where we go to, that's our next topic, beauty throughout history and across different cultures. So as you can see here, let's say in ancient Egypt, the emphasis for beauty was on physical symmetry and proportion through makeup, hygiene and grooming, and use of jewelry and adornments. So it was important for the ancient Egyptians to wear makeup, to wear adornments, because those things can help you achieve symmetry and proportion. No? On the other hand, in ancient Greek, the emphasis was also on physical symmetry and proportion. But that particular time period and that particular culture placed a high value on physical fitness and athleticism. It was important for a healthy body to manifest all these muscles, no? And those are the things that would make you beautiful. In the Tang Dynasty, 618-907 AD, and Song Dynasty, 960 to 1279 AD in China, beauty standards emphasized small feet, known as lotus feet, which were achieved through foot binding, because the people during that time believed that when a female has lotus feet, that's a symbol of status, refinement, and marriageability. So yeah, here's an image that I found online as to what as to what foot binding can do to a woman's feet. In the Victorian era, 1837 to 1901, there was an importance of modesty and restraint. That is, it was important for women to not wear makeup at all, no, and to emphasize on the physical fitness or the natural body of a woman. And beauty standards were closely tied to social class and privilege. The upper classes had greater access to resources and beauty treatments, creating a somewhat sense of hierarchy and competition around beauty. So you see here, that's Queen Victoria in the image, and they really had pale faces. It was important for them to show modesty and restraint, at least on the face. And in the contemporary Western culture today, no, in the among the Americans and Europeans. The features such as high cheekbones, clear skin, and slim figure are often considered desirable. And also, there's the importance of youthfulness, thinness, and symmetrical face. So if you remember Madonna in the Grammys 2023, she's already 64, but she tends to maintain this particular appearance, which really speaks about the standards of beauty in the Western culture, that there's the importance of youthfulness, thinness, no? In the sub-Saharan Africa, many of the cultures from that part of the world tend to believe that beauty is defined by fuller figures, and some societies there practice scarification as a form of beautification. So they get they get tattoos on their faces, and the tattoos are not simple tattoos but scar tattoos, and those are of cultural significance and also as a form of beautification. In India, beauty standards have traditionally emphasized fair skin, long black hair, and big dark eyes. So a typical Indian woman would look like this. And in the Philippines today, so what are our beauty standards? So we know that the taller the nose or the slimmer the nose, the more beautiful the person, the more handsome the person. Straight hair as well is also important for many women, Filipino women today, and syempre the kaning fairer skin, you know. So we have this woman, um, Catherine Bernardo, who is often looked up by many women and many people who like to get their nose done under the knife. They like to copy um, Catherine Bernardo's nose because to them it's a perfect shape of nose. With the advent of the internet and social media, however, many people come to appreciate other beauty standards. An increasing, there is an increasing number of people who tend to adopt various um, who tend to adopt other beauty standards. Beauty standards are influenced by a range of cultural, historical, and social factors. No? While some traditional beauty standards persist, there is also a growing movement to promote diversity and inclusivity in beauty. For example, you have figures like Lizzo and people who are saying or pushing for body positivity, that we all have to appreciate beauty in whatever shape they come. And also RuPaul, a drag queen, who's also been labeled or been described as beautiful despite not being biologically woman, female. Now, why is it important for us to talk about beauty? Because it has implications in our mental health and also in the way we function, no? So we have this halo effect. Halo effect is a cognitive bias that refers to our tendency to assume that people who are physically attractive are also more likely to possess other positive qualities, such as intelligence, kindness, and social competence. So try to recall the last time that you found somebody who is beautiful, who is very attractive. Very often we have this impression that that attractive person also manifests other positive qualities, no? According to Kelly, for example, attractive people have a significant advantage in the job interview process because they form positive impressions in the job interview process. They are often believed to be intelligent, kind, because of how they look. Less attractive people, still according to Kelly, may be subject to negative stereotypes and assumptions, even if they are intelligent or kind. So when someone doesn't look that good, when someone isn't really pleasing to the eyes, no, in terms of his or her appearance, we tend to not trust that person. We tend to have stereotypes towards that person. So kay let's say yaot ang itsura moingon tag basi kriminal, basi na ay criminal record, basi mga watay or 'di ba? So when you go outside, for example, when you go to a park or when you walk in, when you do the when you walk in the park, when you encounter somebody na not not that really handsome, not that really beautiful, you tend to, guard yourself from a possible um hold up. Okay. Also, another aspect why we need to talk about beauty is that there are a lot of young people today and also emerging adults who are suffering from body image issues. A person a person's subjective perception and evaluation of their physical appearance refers to a body image issue. These issues can range from mild dissatisfaction to severe negative beliefs about one's own body. And what are the reasons of people suffering from body image issues? It's because of unrealistic beauty standards perpetuated by media, rise of social media and the pressure to present a perfect image online, and increase in appearance-focused social comparison. So we have a lot of advertising, we have a lot of quote unquote influencers in the social media telling you to wear makeup for you to feel beautiful, telling you um, to wear certain kinds of clothes in order for you to feel good about yourself, no? And all these things can contribute to a negative body image issues, can contribute to negative body image issues. Remember, beauty and mental health tend to have a close relationship because when individuals are bombarded with images and messages promoting unrealistic or narrow beauty standards, they may experience mental health issues such as anxiety. They feel afraid, they feel worried, they feel apprehensive from the constant pressure to look in a certain way. There are other people who also experience depression, and this is a serious mental health condition. They feel sad, they feel hopeless, and they lose all the motivation. They don't eat, they don't sleep anymore, or they cannot sleep anymore because of this extreme feeling of sadness arising from their appearance. And there are other people who experience eating disorders, who develop eating disorders. Example, anorexia nervosa, bulimia nervosa, and binge eating disorder. These disorders are characterized by a range of behaviors related to food and weight and can have serious physical and psychological consequences. And just like depression, eating disorders are also serious mental health conditions. So when a person is anorexic, for example, when a person has anorexia nervosa, the person tends to um, withdraw from eating because whenever the person sees herself or himself in the mirror, the person feels that he's too um he's too wide, no? I mean he's too big, tambok siya, he's too fat. So even though the actual reality is dili siya tambok, ang iyang makita sa samin, tambok siya. So the result is the person refrains from eating to the point na mahimo na siya butot balat. So maskin butot balat na iyang itsura, the person still feels na tambok pa siya, no? So That's just one of the eating disorders that may develop in someone, in a person, um, whenever, you know, whenever the person can no longer handle the extreme pressure of looking in particular ways. Now, how do we handle narrow beauty standards? How do we handle impossible beauty standards in order to guard yourself from the dangers of, from the mental health issues that you may encounter? The first one is focus on self-care. So I advise that you engage in self-care activities. For example, you sleep, you do exercise, you maintain a healthy, balanced diet, because all these things can help you, can help you form a positive self-image, and can really help you also to reduce stress and anxiety. So whenever you wake up after an 8 hour sleep, diba, we tend to have that feeling of freshness, that you feel good about yourself because of the amount of sleep that you've had the night before. The second tip is limit exposure to media, no? Um, yeah, because when you constantly when you are constantly exposed to these messages reflecting unrealistic or narrow beauty standards, you really feel inadequate. You really feel not enough. You feel anxious. So try to unfollow, if you can, unfollow those celebrities, influencers, who are telling you, who are low key influencing you to look in certain ways, who are low key influencing you to meet narrow beauty standards. No, um, you may follow, for example, fitness influencers, how you should, let's say, how the things that you should be doing in the gym, the things that you should be eating. So you may follow those influencers instead of those influencers who are only posting clothes, and as if telling you to now you have to look as good as them, just by keeping, or just by the clothes that they wear. The third one, cultivate a positive body image. How do you do that? Um, we cultivate a positive body image by practicing positive affirmations. When, like, you tell yourself you're beautiful, you tell yourself you're adequate, you focus on your strengths, you focus on your achievements, and you just embrace the unique qualities that you have, the unique qualities that make you who you are. You may also seek support. No, you may seek support from friends, from family members, or even a mental health professional. If ever you have more serious body image issues, if you cannot handle anymore the anxiety, or if you feel that you are in the verge of developing depression or eating disorder, feel free to seek support, from your friends, family, and a mental health professional. Second tip, you reframe negative thoughts, no? Challenge your negative thoughts, challenge your negative beliefs about your body. Replace them with a positive self-affirming statements, no? So try to confront yourself, um kaning atong panit ba nga brown, yaot ba jud ni, no, or makapangit ba ni sa atong pagkatao, so kaning atong shape sa atong ilong, so do you really have to feel sad about it, na kana may gihatag ng imong ginikanan ng Ginoo? So you try to visit, revisit, you try to go back to your beliefs or to your beauty standards. Na, syempre, beauty standards that were formed through the years after being bombarded with various messages online. The sixth one, embrace a diverse and inclusive view of beauty. What do we mean by this? Um, you recognize that there is no one way of looking beautiful or handsome. There are a lot of ways for somebody to become beautiful or handsome. Okay? So it doesn't matter if you're thin, if you are muscular, athletic, it doesn't matter if you are, a plus size, if you are that big. It's not about the skin color. It's not about your style, your fashion. It's about, you know, how you really feel inside and the good things that you can do to other people, no? And lastly, practice gratitude. How do you practice gratitude? You focus on the positive aspects of your life. You be thankful for be thankful for your life. 'Di ba? We have that expression, ang importante buhi, no? So don't feel sad about for you to not feel sad about how you look, no? Or about your appearance. You focus on other good things that you have. No, focus on your life, focus on the relationships that you have, focus on focus on the things like you're here learning with your classmates, with me, with your instructor, etc., etc. So instead of dwelling on negative thoughts and feelings, be thankful for a lot of things that are for all the blessings that you have right now, for the life that you have right now. Okay, so that's it. That's the end of the presentation. Let me recall the main ideas that I gave in this lecture video. The first one, the impact of cultural and societal values on beauty standards. Remember, we have various beauty standards. There is not one perfect way of looking beautiful or handsome. And our standards of beauty come from the influences of culture and society and social media, and there is impact. Media and social media have impact on our beauty standards. They contribute to how we understand beauty. And there is a relationship between beauty and mental health. They may interact with each other because there are many people, particularly the young ones and the emerging adults, to feel pressure to conform to narrow and unrealistic beauty standards. And there's this importance of promoting positive body image and positive self-esteem. So you go back to the tips. So there are a lot of tips that you can do in order for you um to keep to make you feel good about yourself. It's not about the physical appearance. It's not about the it's not about the physical appearance, but the things that you can do to others. And that's it. That's the entire lecture on the physical self, beauty standards, and body image. I have here 5 questions for your reflection. How has social media impacted your own personal view of beauty? Have you ever felt pressure to conform to certain beauty standards as a result of social media? In what ways have you seen narrow beauty standards perpetuated in the media? Have you or someone know experienced body image issues? And what impact has this had on their mental health and physical health? And yeah, related questions. Thank you so much for watching this lecture video.